All right, folks, what is going on? How is it going? It is Wednesday night, and the time is right for Wrestling Outlet. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. I don't know where Smark is tonight, but you got me. So, hey, thank you. I enjoy doing this. And yeah, you got me for right now. So I am Boxman. I appreciate everybody joining me. I'm 99 again percent sure I got the audio. Hey Stephen, how you doing over there? Stephen Butler, appreciate you stopping by. Pretty sure I got the audio working better this time. I did some chord switching. I got a new external sound card because I've only got one input on there, and I switched around all my channels. So I hope I'm sounding better tonight than I have the past few weeks. There was no crackling in the headphones like there has been. Everything seems to be going fine. I got both channels working, and everything seems to be good. And hopefully, all that is doing well. But on that note, there actually is a decent amount of stuff to get into tonight, as well as AEW, CM Punk, a new show for AEW, all kinds of things to get into. John Hennigan boxing? What the fuck? Yeah, John Hennigan boxing and winning. Not just boxing, but winning the matches that he's in. Anyway, you guys probably hear my daughter crying over there. I apologize. She's not in the best mood. For some reason, when I was watching AEW, she thought she was getting dressed for school. When I told her she's not in school yet, she started doing what she's doing now, crying and screaming. I mean, I feel bad. She wants to go to school, but unfortunately, she's not old enough, and schools are almost over. So I don't know what we're gonna do there, but she doesn't go to school. So hopefully, though, we'll get Smark chiming on in the next few minutes here. Maybe he's running late. Maybe he had to do something. I don't know. Um, I'm gonna reach down here and grab a beer. Is what I'm gonna do. Have a little sip see because haven't had a beer yet tonight. So I'm gonna crack one of these bad boys open. A little cheers to everybody out there. And there we go. All right. So I guess what we'll do is right now, while we're waiting on the possibility of Smart to get here, um, he may not. I guess we can go ahead and start. We'll kick off with a few things. First thing I wanted to kick off with is now he's not really a friend of this show, but he was a friend over on the THT when it was me and Shaheen. Shaheen was a very, very good friends with this person, and GCW has decided to put him in the Hall of Fame. Lowlife Louis Ramos is going into the Deathmatch Hall of Fame June 30th, or 3rd, I'm sorry, in Atlantic City. Louis on Facebook said, I usually have a ton to say. For once in my life, I'm truly speechless. The outpouring of support on social media has been so humbling and overwhelming. Tears of joy flow down my face. So, Louis was always really good to me and Shaheen, both obviously better to Shaheen. Shaheen knew him a lot better. But he was good to the show back then. And I appreciate that. I appreciated that. And I thought Louis was a really good guy. He was really nice. And this is really cool for him. This is a good honor for Louis. He's wanted to wanted to get out of doing this a few times, and even back when me and Shaheen were doing the show, it was supposed to be one of his last matches, or at least one of his last death matches. Nope, it wasn't. He came back a few times, but this is a really, really big thing, and I'm really glad to see this. And in Atlantic City, Saturday, June 3rd, GCW Deathmatch Hall of Fame. But just wanted to pop that out there real quick. Like I said, he wasn't really a guy on this show, but Louis definitely was a guy on THT, and back in those days, like I said, he was really good to the show. So there we go. I wanted to go ahead and, uh, pay a little respect to him for doing what he's doing there, because that's pretty cool that he's going in there. Sorry, folks. I just realized how my mic is a little turned around there, but that should be a little better. Um, but yeah, so Louis right there, Hall of Fame. That's just like I said, one thing I wanted to just throw out there, kind of kick off the show with. Um, One other thing I guess we can kick off the show with is Impact has gained another decent person. Will it move the needle for him? I doubt it. I don't think there's much that will move the needle for them. But they got another good signing, which in Nick Aldis. Now, to go back again to the THT days when it was me and Shaheen, I had said before that, Nick Aldis just has a great look. He can talk. He, I really feel this is a guy that a smaller company could build a promotion off of. Now, Corgan was it looked like that's what Billy Corgan was trying to do in the NWA with Nick Aldis. I thought that's great. It's a great idea. It's what I've been saying to do with this guy. He could do it. But they had some creative differences, I guess. And we talked about it when Nick Aldis left. And I think this puts another nail in the coffin of NWA. I don't know what Billy Corgan's 20-year plan was. Now I know COVID threw a monkey wrench in that plan, but I don't know what his 20-year plan was unless it was closing for 15 years, uh, and then reopening. I mean, that's one way to get some stuff back, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here, but Impact did officially sign Nick Aldis, so I'm sure he will be very thrown pretty close back into the title hunt. But I've said it a ton of times. I think even when another gentleman you should listen to the show was Mike Bessler when he did an article on Nick Aldis. We talked about it, and he wrote a very praising article on Aldis, and I agreed with him. I said, look, I really feel he's a guy that you could take, and I'm not saying he looks or can wrestle or has the charisma of a John Cena, but kind of be that John Cena for you, kind of build your company, kind of do what you did with a Cena with a Nick Aldis. But, I thought Impact might have had the brains to do that, but they never did. They just never did. So, all right, folks, give me 1 second here and I'm going to grab Smark. All right, hold on 1 second here, folks. All right, Smart, can you hear me? All right, you're not going to be able to see me for a second, though. So hold on. Yes, you can hear me? All right, I can't hear you, but let me see if that's a problem. Hold on 1 second, everybody. I need to close out of this program real fast. And then give me 1 sec here, Smart. I'm closing out of one program, which will make me do one quick thing. Don't go nowhere yet, sir. Let me take this out of here. Let me pop us up right here. All right. And then all I got to do is get me in the call. Hold on a second. Turn off my camera. Turn on my camera. All right. We've got me, but we still cannot hear Smart. Let's figure out why we cannot hear Smart. Let me go into the settings real fast. Audio and video settings. We scroll down. I know why we can't hear Smart. Let's fix that right now. There's Smart. Go ahead, Smart. No, you're not really talking right now, are you?
Nope. Not at
Okay,
all. No.
good. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. Thank you. You fucking prick. Yeah.
There we are. All right. Very good.
Yeah, I was just saying before I started the show that I had a few little I did a few little things to the mixer to make everything hopefully work like it used to. But I did some changes, did some chord things, got a new audio card, so we should be good from now on. Again, I hope. We hope.
Excellent.
But how's it going there, Smart? Glad you're joining, sir.
Hey, yeah. No worries. How are you? I'm doing good.
Not bad. I figured you had to take a shite or something.
No, just another. I wasn't getting any notifications from Skype. It's being weird.
Fuck Skype, pricks.
More or less, yeah.
Ah, well, you're here. Only a few minutes. No big deal. Actually, I was just talking about the first thing I sent you, what I had. And I was talking about Nick Aldis going back into Impact Wrestling. So, I mean, I'm sure you knew that already, but
Oh, of course. I'm a huge Nick Aldis fan.
of course, of course. No, are you really? I don't know. Are you? Are you?
Is anyone?
I am. I don't,
Oh, okay.
I don't know why suddenly everybody. Okay, the mouse is gone. All right. I don't know.
I
Now,
respect your beliefs.
well, I actually am a Nick Aldis fan, and I've especially like I was talking about way back. I was saying that back in the THT days, this guy was a guy that I felt you could have actually built a company around and this and that. But looks like Billy Corgan tried to do that, didn't work. But you think now? I said this was another nail in the coffin of the Billy Corgan's NWA. Do you what do you think about that? Let's start there.
I mean, like, it's hard to kill something that's like barely alive anyway.
All
Like,
right.
I mean, they can continue existing in obscurity for as long as humanly possible. But I
Okay.
mean, it doesn't look great for them.
No, no, it doesn't. But I mean, they lost in the beginning of, I would say, middle of COVID. They started losing a lot of their people right over to AEW, and then this happens. Now they lose Nick Aldis. Now they got their belt on Tyrus, which I have no problem with, but a lot of people seem to have a problem with. I don't know if the problem with him or problem with the TV show he's on or his beliefs. I don't know what it is, but I don't care. But yeah, it just seems like Billy Corgan can't fucking win. At one, I mean, I know he's got tons of money, but at what point do you fucking cut bait and say, a loser's a loser?
I mean, I guess ultimately that depends on what it is that he hopes to achieve with that. Like what his goals are as an owner. I mean, right now it's not the best time in the world for anybody who is in WWE and AEW because that's where pretty much all the talent's going, and there's not a lot of talent on the independent level or for like with MLW. There's not a lot there with like NWA we're talking about. There's not a lot there. There's just a very small talent pool to draw from at the moment.
Yeah, there really is. But and it's kind of sad, but yeah, you're right. It's just kind of it is. There is kind of a small talent pool, but there are a bunch of people out on the indies that could come over there too. I don't know who could go over there to help him at this point. I mean, everyone good he had has left, or no, or they got into an argument, or I don't even know who's left there. Does NWA even have a roster on the internet? Do they?
Yeah, we did this like a couple of months ago, but I will bring
We
it up
did?
anyway.
See, I don't even remember. That's how memorable their roster is.
I don't think we so much as looked at their roster as we did just laugh about their pay-per-view card. So I
Okay.
don't think it was necessarily a full look at the roster.
Okay.
I'm trouble pulling up an NWA website.
I've got one from Wiki here. So, what do we have here? What do we have here? We've got AJ. All right, their U.S. Tag Champion. One of them is AJ Kazana and Anthony Andrews. I don't know who they are. We have Alex Taylor. Anthony Mayweather's a producer. Bestia 666. Okay. Black G's. All right. Another one we've spoke to here on the, or not here, but on the other show. They got the Pope. How could you not do something if you got the Pope?
God, like that.
I
I'm not
actually,
talking about people who deserve their. Well, yeah, I mean that's why I started. I was getting flubbered up. I was getting all like unable to talk. That guy has way more talent than what he's been given in his career.
yeah. Let's see. We got Homicide over there. We got EC3 over there. We've got. I'm just pulling out a few. Now I'm not going through everybody. Who else do I know? JTG. Hell yeah. Luke Hawks is over there. They've got a few
Chris
people.
Masters or Chris Adonis, as he's known.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Ricky Morton's over there. Come on now, you can build a company around that man right there. I would, but I wouldn't care. I would do it. Tim Storm is still there, man.
Good old Tim Storm.
Rhett Titus,
Okay.
Vic Delicious is over there. You got Angelina.
PG's over
Let's
there.
see, and the women. Who do we got? The women over there. We got Angelina Love over there. Let's see who else we got. Camille. I like Camille. I like Camille. Max the Impaler. Okay, okay. I don't know a lot of these women. Samantha Starr. No, she is. Okay. So, all right. So, yeah, you're right. As you were saying, Smart, the list is not that big out there of people that are gonna move any needles. And like I said, I don't think that Nick Aldis is gonna move the needle for Impact. I don't think anything could move the needle for Impact. To be honest with you, I don't. Can you think of anything besides like John Cena showing up there that would move the needle at all?
Now is that confirmed?
No, 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 no.
John
God,
Cena versus Tyrus. That's what we're doing at the NWA anniversary show.
that he would probably do that. I bet they get along well.
I mean, I hear Goldberg is available these days.
Yeah. Hey,
Goldberg versus Tim Storm.
Goldberg versus Storm. I mean, Goldberg versus whoever. Some of those people we named her, Rhett Titus. That'd be great. That'd be, oh my god, that's like a dream match, right?
Yeah, at any
Uh,
venue, at any point.
I mean, shit. Goldberg versus who was CM Punk? Who was Eric Bischoff telling Tony Khan, daring Tony? It was Bischoff, Goldberg versus Punk, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He was daring him. Do you have the balls? The fuck? Okay, okay,
What's
okay.
what's great about Eric Bischoff is like he just basically shits on everybody now, and like he calls like basically everybody is overrated to him, and it's like, man, you had like 2 years where your booking wasn't fucking atrocious, and you've been coasting off that for like 20 something years. Like,
Uh,
are you really in any position to talk shit about other
it
people?
was only 83 weeks, which is luckily a good chunk less than 2 years. Thank God. So we didn't even have 2 whole years to choose from or to brag about. But here's also a guy that without a company that was bleeding money to its talent, giving their talent anything they wanted, letting the talent run the place. Name one other just absolutely amazing show that Eric Bischoff has been in, had his hands on since then. Come on,
I
I'm waiting.
sure can't, but I mean, like look at it like this though. Like, okay, look at some of the big people in ECW in like '95. You had like Eddie Guerrero, you had Rey Mysterio, you had Chris Benoit. They all go to WCW. He does
Mhm.
nothing with them. They all go to WWF. They're all big stars. Like, everybody but Bischoff could see fucking talent in these people.
Yeah, I mean it's just amazing. I'm trying to get to hold on here, Eric Bischoff, because I know he was a producer on a bunch of stuff. So let's see if we can.
We've definitely done this. There's some real hits in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. I mean, 2015. Remember that big show he did, Divorced Family? Remember that one? Yeah. How about
Right?
See Dad Run? Remember that one? See Dad Run? No, no, no. Ooh, here's a
It's a
ooh,
spinoff.
ooh. I Heart Nick Carter. Remember that one? No. The Devil's Ride. No. Anything on that one? No, no. The Catalina. Remember that one? Oh, you know what? Maybe I should take what I said back. He was the executive producer of Hulk Hogan's Micro Championship Wrestling. I apologize. There was a giant show right there. Kidding.
All seriousness, I'd rather watch that than when he was looking for TNA.
Okay. Ooh, Bear Swamp Recovery. Oh, here we go. Executive producer 2010 of Finding Hulk Hogan. Boy, how many
New PR agent?
this guy really whoa, he was the executive producer of Running Wild from Ted Nugent. Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling. He really just rode Hogan's coattails. Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
mean, he's basically just the same as fucking Brian Knobs.
Yeah, I mean anything. Well, I mean any. It looks like Brian Knobs was giving something else up, but that's neither here nor there. He did a Girls Gone Wild live from.
As big of an asshole as Brian.
You know he was executive. Eric Bischoff after WCW in 2003 was executive producer of Girls Gone Wild live from Spring Break.
Well, how about that?
I did not know that. I actually think I might have that one. No. I have Hollywood Hotties. I still have that one. That's the one I have. Yeah, he really. Let's see. After that, after all WCW stuff, he jumped right back at him. 2008, he went crying to him. He did the Hogan Championship thing. So 2008, 2009, Hulkamania. Let the battle begin. 2010. Okay.
You know what was funny about Girls Gone Wild, since we're talking about it, and we weren't, but I'm bringing it back. They partnered up with Snoop Dogg for a minute. Like, Snoop Dogg was in some of those DVDs.
Uh-huh.
And, like, I understand the theory, I guess, of, like, getting a celebrity name attached to it, but, like, you're selling this to, like, 18 to 24-year-old guys to jerk off to. Like, what guys out there trying to jerk off to Snoop Dogg?
They were just trying to
I mean,
sell more stuff. And there may be some guys who do want to do that.
I suppose, but it's probably not the same people that are out there trying to buy Girls Gone Wild DVDs.
Probably not. They're trying to buy Guys Gone Nuts.
The less successful spinoff. Eric Bischoff might have produced one of those too. Who knows?
By the way, that was a shout out to NYPD Blue right there. That's where I actually came up with that title. That was actually a video. They were actually doing a video. The guy was trying to get back videos that were confiscated of a spin-off of the Girls Gone Wild, one for the ladies, and we're going to call it Guys Gone Nuts.
Interesting.
And Sipowicz goes, "You got guys pulling out their junk on this video?"
I feel like him being involved would have made that. He was out there showing his ass, wasn't he?
I don't know. It was he did a couple times on that show, but that was Julian. That was he was a regular on that show. He was semi-regular, but anyway, that's got nothing to do with nothing. Yeah, I just think it's funny that you got Eric Bischoff out there trying to tell people how to run their television shows, and boy, his TV career. I mean, his TV producing career is just wow. He was booking all those matches, right, over at WCW. No, that wasn't even him. No, that was Hogan and Nash, right? Right. Yeah. Yeah? Well, how do you think Nash got to beat Goldberg, everybody? He wrote it in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I guess we can still. I don't even know how we got from that to Nick Aldis, or from Nick Aldis to that. Sorry. Nick Aldis back with Impact. It's not going to do anything. I'm happy for the guy. He was always happy at that company. So I'm happy for Nick Aldis if he's happy with himself, I guess. Right, Smark?
Sure.
So, Smark, I was sitting there this weekend and I kept seeing these pictures of a boxing match pop up, and I'm like, hold up. Is that John Morrison? It is. It was John Hennigan or John Morrison or Johnny Nitro or Johnny Impact or Johnny Mundo or Johnny Elite. But he won a charity boxing match at Creator Clash 2 against a YouTuber named Harley Morenstein.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked him out. Um,
Do you know who that is?
no.
He's the Epic Mealtime guy. The fellow with the beard.
Okay. All right. I do. And I just didn't know his name. Okay. So I do.
So basically, he like somebody who works out every day beat up a guy who like eats bacon like for every meal. Pretty impressive, dare I say.
I mean, yeah, I guess it is. I didn't see the fight, but I did see this little corner man here. This guy could be Brock Lesnar's brother.
I think that's Josh Barnett.
It is
Maybe?
Josh Barnett, I know, but he's starting to look more like Brock fucking Lesnar. Actually, not only did Josh Barnett walk him to the ring, but as you can see here, Josh Barnett, LA Knight, Jake Hager, had a bunch of people walking him down to the ring, Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux. He had a bunch of guys walk him down to the ring, but we all missed just a few seconds after that video went off. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was also there. So, pretty
He
cool.
was fighting Dame Drops.
He was. Oh. Mojo Rawley was also, also there, walking him down. So he had his little entourage of AEW and WWE guys walking him down to the ring. That was pretty cool. But yeah, that was Josh Barnett in the ring with him. And then there's him right there. Obviously, Taya was there with him. I mean, his wife's obviously going to be there. Boy, I didn't really mention her, but yeah, she was there. And I didn't see the whole fight, but I'll tell you, man, it was like every other post on Facebook was this guy holding up his arms or doing this or a different. It was like 20 pictures of him that were just going around the fucking internet, man. So,
I mean, this has been sort of the thing for a couple of years now, but I like, at what point did boxing become so like popular amongst just random ass celebrities? Like they tried this in like 2004 or something. It was like celebrity boxing, and it was terrible, and everybody hated it.
right.
But now, just for whatever reason, everybody loves watching fucking YouTubers box each other. I don't understand.
I don't know either, but he called out KSI, who we saw in AEW after the match, or after his whatever, after his round and after his win. So we called him out after that. So I don't know, but I mean, you're right though. They did try this. Maybe one of the problems back then was you had Joey Buttafuoco beating the shit out of China. You know that people might have had a problem with that even back then. That was actually
Bull versus William Perry.
yeah, that was tough to watch. That was tough to watch, but yeah, I don't know why it's become big again. Boxing for a while, I think a lot of people thought was dead. I I thought boxing was fucking
I think
dead.
it's kind of evidence that it is. Like Floyd Mayweather is pretty much done, and now it's just a bunch of like scrawny white YouTubers fighting each other.
Yeah, I mean, boxing really just had its heyday. I mean, you know, you had Ali and all those the time he was in. Muhammad Ali, I'm obviously talking about. When he was in, he was that made boxing just huge for a long time with all his fights. George Foreman was another one that was a big fighter, brought money and people into the fucking arena. Tyson, I mean, good God, he kind of that was kind of a resurgence of boxing. People just got tired of paying $90 for a 1 round fucking fight. That straight up, that's what happened. That's kind of what started the downfall of boxing. People were tired of paying $90 for a Mike Tyson 1 round fight. Not even 1 round. I mean, he was beating some of these guys with one punch in a few seconds. Tyson was.
Right.
And I mean, really, after that, it's kind of died after Tyson. I mean, Lennox Lewis kind of was one of them that was kind of making a little bit of a comeback. Who was that other kid you had? Prince Nassim Hamed, the real flashy guy. He was great till he got his ass kicked, and then he didn't want to come back. So boxing's just not.
Oscar De La Hoya,
De La
Sona
Hoya,
Popinski.
Pacquiao. I mean, there are still some names, but let's face it, a lot of those names are from back in 10, 15, 20 years ago. So I don't know, man. But I mean, I don't know why it's making a little resurgence now, but you're right. This probably isn't the best way to make a resurgence, and I don't know. Better than, I mean, I guess it's
Because
better
like
than.
people are watching it, but like people aren't watching actual boxers box. They're just like random celebrities box. Which I'm surprised at some point where I think we're going to start getting this in like MMA too, and that's when it becomes more interesting.
Possibly we'll get the.
Because that's when people start getting hurt.
I don't know if we'll see this. People, that's the problem. Is people in MMA is a different training. Boxing is different. You go in there, you got the gloves on, you got a ref right in between you, and you really can't do that much damage to each other. And they're probably wearing huge fucking gloves.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's like two guys who are not trained to fight each other, it's like kind of lightly touching each other. Like it's really low risk stakes. So I'm saying that's why I'm hoping for celebrity MMA because that's when motherfuckers
No,
start getting hurt.
don't
Somebody
need
goes
to.
for a takedown, tears an MCL. I think it's funny. Whatever.
Someone goes for a fucking horrible arm bar, snap someone arm. Nah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I think that would be the death of MMA.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be like UFC, but somebody will get. It'll happen within the next couple of years if like the celebrity boxing phenomenon keeps going.
Oh, I'm sure it probably will. It probably will. So, but speaking of UFC and boxing, I guess kind of a little mix here. We got Smark. We got the man back in the news. We've got him. We got Vinny Mac, Vince McMahon, back in the news once again. So
Visionary.
the visionary, exactly, back in the news, folks. Now, despite all the rumors that he's forced his way back into creative, according to Nick Khan, who was on Lightshed, that McMahon is not back in creative and sent a company wide email to even Nick Khan. Even Nick Khan got this email stating that Triple H is the sole chief creative officer and that McMahon himself would not be seeking input on creative decisions. Khan added that the caveat, or added the caveat that McMahon and Triple H have had a long working relationship, meaning McMahon's advice and expertise is available to Triple H at all times if he seeks it. So, despite all the rumors that Vince is making last minute changes to, you know, scripts and this and that, pay no attention to that old man behind the curtain trying to grab that woman's ass. Pay no attention to that man.
That's right.
That is not Vince McMahon trying to rewrite the script. And again with the great tie. But yeah, I guess so there you go, Smark. What do you think? Email.
I was at first. I'm surprised that you can write an email and an advocate. That impresses me first off.
Mm.
Triple H has a good failsafe here because, like, if it's a good show, people are like, "Yeah, Triple H is in charge again." If it's a fucking shitty show, it's like, "Ah, Vince must have been involved in this."
Yeah.
So, like, Triple H can do no wrong for the next at least couple months, maybe a couple of years, because this is any time the show sucks, people just think it's Vince's fault for some reason, even if it's not. It's a good position to be in.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and that's kind of the way it does go. When the show sucks, oh, Vince definitely made changes to that show. When it's great, wow, Triple H did such a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that trips that man oh mine. But yeah,
Because like the Raw after WrestleMania was terrible. People were saying. Then people were saying that the SmackDown was fun. People liked it, and then everybody was like, then they rushed to put reports out that Vince wasn't involved in that. And I don't know what happened with Raw to this week. I haven't really heard much about it, good, bad, or indifferent. But there we go.
I heard it was, from what I've listened to, better than last week, but not much. Um, but man, once again, look at the tie. See the tie? Got the solid purple on top. Got the kind of purple and lavender going on the bottom. I like it. I like it. And then you go here. Look, another fucking badass tie with the next picture. Look at that. Got the yellow gold up top. Got the. I gotta find some of these. I gotta find some of these. But this story is actually a little bit about Nick Khan, a little more than Vince. Just let me start by saying nothing's confirmed with what he said here. But Nick Khan, in that same interview, was talking about how WWE is in talks with NBC to possibly make the third hour of Raw a little more risque. A little more risque. Um, basically, this is what Khan said. No, I'm not basically. Actually, I'm going to quote the fucking guy. He said, "Look, when we're specifically talking about the 10 to 11 hour on Raw, we're specifically talking to NBC and ourselves about. You're talking to yourselves. We're talking to ourselves. Okay, if you want to say it like that, about what we do with that moving forward." He added, "We ask, what do we do if we tweak this? That 10 to 11 hour, is it it is basic cable, it's not broadcast, as you know. We think that NBC would be supportive, but we're not on a final conclusion yet. The changes being rumored are that WWE, oh, I'm done with Nick's quotes. Changes being rumored again, are that they would become a little less PG in that last couple hours, and appeal to an older, more mature crowd. Now,
Let's read between the lines. They're bringing back Raw Underground.
God, I hope not. All right, so we've got that. Now, I'm not. All right, I'm not buying this again. I'm still not. I know now they're with Endeavor, but and you know with MMA, the violence, the that. No, no. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. They still have the same people to answer to. They have stockholders, they have shareholders, they have investors. You're still answering to them. Yes, trust me, I would like it if they did that. That would be great. I would probably watch that third hour if they did. But I mean, most kids are in bed by that third hour or should be. But you can't guarantee that. And it takes one parent or one activist group to get involved with this thing and have it go fucking viral. And them being a publicly traded company, we'll have to shift right back to where they were before. So I don't believe this. I don't think they're going to do a goddamn thing with that second to third hour, or second to third hour, rather than just keep it the way it is, use it as it is, put the women on it like they have been, and keep making the most revenue in that hour as they have been. Why would that change?
Yeah.
You know, there's that, and people are like, "Oh, well, you know, I bet Triple H makes the show back to 2 hours. He said he'd want to do that." You really think he has that fucking power? I don't. I don't.
That's not happening. We live in the times where whatever, like as people's, it's a weird paradox because as people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter, the goal now is just to add as much content as humanly possible, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's sort of the Netflix business model. Just fucking inundate the whole fucking mainstream with as much content as humanly possible. So it's
Right.
3 hours of Raw. It's fucking AEW apparently has another show. It's just more content and more content and more content and more content.
Yeah, we're about to get into that in just a couple of minutes here, but yeah, I just I don't see any of this happening. I mean, maybe get a little bit of blood, maybe get a curse word in those hours, but if you think come fucking, that 10 to 11 hour, no, cuz you know why? Think of Central Time. It's 9 to 10.
Mhm.
Okay? Go even more. Think of Cali time. You go over there on the fucking over there. That's fucking like 4 hours behind. That's
Well, it's 3 hours, so it'd be 5 o'clock is
3 hours. So
short
you're right.
start.
So prime time over there, basically. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's what they're gonna do. Yeah. Stop dreaming, everybody. It's just not gonna fucking happen. It's just not. What you see is what you get. It's not gonna change. You might get a few, like I said, a curse word, maybe a little blood. Um, but we get blood anyway if it's hard way. So who cares? What the ref gloves up? Who cares?
Mhm.
I don't think anything's going to change. That's my opinion. I really don't. I think it's going to. I think the more things change, the more they stay the same, especially when it comes to WWE.
That has historically been the case.
Yes, sir. And I don't think they have any reason to reinvent their wheel, if you know what I'm talking about. And I think you do.
Oh, I'm feeling you, big dog.
Oh, don't touch me there.
Can't touch this. How about that?
Okay, touch me there. All right. Anyway, okay. Ew, woohoo. All
I mean,
right.
we are talking about Vince.
There he is right there, mustache and all, buddy.
Hmm.
So, Spark, something we mentioned, and it's funny. We actually we pulled this out of the article, and not many people did. I'm sure someone else did, but if you remember when we were talking about this whole deal going down with Endeavor and the WWE, this little merger, we were talking about cuts that could happen because that's what happened when Endeavor bought UFC. Cuts happened. So suddenly now, Nick Khan was actually talking to the same thing, Lightshed, about that right there. Budget cuts, possibly 50 million in budget cuts. This is what Nick Khan said. If you look at what Endeavor was able to cut out cost wise from UFC in 2016, shortly after their deal was done, we have the same expectation. We think 50 million is a conservative number. We have integration teams. We're going to get those in shape. I think we'll have a better sense of it in a month or so. We're going to be pretty aggressive with them to make sure for our shareholders and for our company and our organization is as lean and mean as possible. We're also going to rely on Endeavor Flywheel to make up the rest. So, as me and you spoke about, Smark, sorry, um, as we spoke about, remember we were saying there's going to be a lot of kind of departments that have duplicates or overlaps, or, I mean, let's face it, WWE makes some awesome fucking videos. I wouldn't doubt if most of UFC's guys aren't needed now because, well, they can just go to this company. That I don't know how that's going to work. I think they're going to probably integrate as many people as they can. But yeah, we predicted we're going to see some cuts coming. I, I Now, do you think it's going to be office or talent?
Probably a mixture of both. Like, I would just go ahead and turn the phone off if I were hit row. Just go ahead. No need to be checking on the phones. Learn from JTG. Just go ahead and chuck that fucker right out the window.
Probably. I would say it's going to be like 80% office personnel and like 20% like talent. Um, it's almost time for the NXT cuts anyway.
Mhm.
Remember what Triple H was saying? What, 30 days, 6 months? I forgot what it was. Uh, but they're going to be cutting people every few months. It's cyclical, as he said. So I think we're going to see some NXT talent get cut in about a month. I think, like you said, within a month we're going to start seeing some more people on the chopping block. And I don't know. There's a few people over there. I'd be nervous if I was Baron Corbin. I don't care what they think of me. I mean, after JBL basically called me a fucking turd that you cannot polish, which, by the way, is not exactly true. You can polish a turd, folks. You know the problem? It's still a fucking turd.
I don't think they did rid of him. I think they like him.
I mean, you can polish a turd. You can do it, Smart. It can be done. It can get shiny. It can get nice. You can dry it. You can put it in a kiln. It's still a piece of shit. And so is Baron Corbin.
Blasphemy. I would never say such a thing.
No, but you're also not disagreeing with me.
Listen, do you really want to keep alienating members of the chat room by insulting their favorite people? Have we not done that enough? I mean, there's a reason we don't mention Jim Cornette anymore.
Why? Sean hasn't come back yet. I mean, I don't even
I
think
know.
we
I've been putting up flyers all over town, and nothing's worked.
still don't think we said anything bad. Well, it was mostly me. All I said was I think the guy has a huge fucking audience, and his negativity is an influence on that audience. What is so bad about that?
Right. No, I agree with that. Also, like SVC saying that I don't think Corbin's going to get fired because I feel like he serves a valuable spot for them. Because like I feel like he's one of those people you can just sort of consistently put in the mid card, and then he's somebody who you can have lose fairly regularly, and like it doesn't really hurt anything.
Okay.
You just use him to get guys over.
So pretty much about 40% of your roster is Baron Corbin.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of other people. Elias is kind of Baron Corbin at this point. And I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah. See what I mean? See what I mean? Okay.
I think Jinder Mahal is still on the roster.
Yeah. I will but yeah, this is something we kind of expected was going to happen. And this was the exact thing we said is back in 2016 they did this exact thing. So we knew this was coming. It's funny that it's a month later and now they're like, "Hey, guess what? Budget cuts. Budget cuts. 50 million budget cuts."
Well, on the positive, that's going to be good for NWA, I guess. We just said they don't have a lot of talent.
I guess so. You're right. They can pick up a few people from this little happening going down. You're right.
Tyrus versus Top Dollar. Get ready for it, folks.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. All right.
Tony D'Angelo is headed to the Impact Zone.
Oh snap. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to All Access? We get soccer instead?
Interesting. I hadn't been checking. I've been watching like the day after.
No, there's no AEW. There's no AEW show on tonight. It went right to the soccer game.
It's been an hour since Dynamite went off the air, though. I'm pretty sure it's not just over.
And Rampage is on Saturday this week also, I think because of the same thing.
Playoffs. I'm not sure if it's basketball playoffs or hockey playoffs. Both playoffs are happening at the moment, but
So what am I watching now? What soccer game is this? Is this the World Cup or something?
I have no idea. I know nothing of soccer. I'm just telling you that the NHL and the NBA both have playoff games, and I'm assuming that's what's preempting AEW or Rampage Friday.
I don't know. No one knows. My wife has no clue. I don't watch soccer. I don't know. I don't watch soccer either. So
I can actually look that up real quick. So give me a minute.
All right, go ahead, and we'll do a little. We'll talk a little bit about Dax Harwood. What do you think of that?
That is a perfect segue for when I'm not going to be paying attention. Go right for it.
See, I figured you could look something up while I'm talking about this guy right here. Dax and Matt Kuhn have officially announced the ending of FTR with Dax Harwood, the podcast. They have. Dax stated that AEW did not make him end the podcast. He was trying to make a show to make people happy and to bring some more shine to pro wrestling business. Things took a turn for the worse, though, he said, when he made a comment about his dream match with CM Punk and FTR versus the Elite. He said he got attacked on Twitter. He said he didn't just get attacked on Twitter. Here's what he said. He said, "We all want to do good for the wrestling." What? Huh? We all want to do good for wrestling. And I don't think that this podcast, as much as we tried, as hard as we tried, I don't think the podcast was reflecting that. He said he was getting messages saying he should be fired, die, his family should leave him, and someone went as far as to call his daughter a little whore. Okay, let me just stop there.
Okay, I didn't send that one, but the other ones, I will not apologize.
Okay.
I did not call his daughter a whore, but I'm glad that he got my other messages.
I would hunt down that motherfucker who said that. I'm sorry. I would grab my gun, tell my wife I'll be back in a few days, maybe. And I would
By the by, Dallas versus Minnesota is the NHL playoff game. It's going to be preempting Rampage.
Oh. All right.
Because that'll be on Friday at 9:30 on TBS. So that would be when Rampage is running normally.
Okay. Not bad. But yeah, so he said for the time being, he's not going to be doing some podcasts. Listen, folks, I don't agree with the guy either, but I think it's really time we learn that just because you can say something to someone does not mean you should say whatever you think to somebody. I can't even imagine saying telling someone they should die over an opinion, over a match that they think would be great. What? Do we live in fucking horrible times, man? We really do.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking awful that people would even do that. And the fact that anyone would call his daughter that name is just ridiculous. That's embarrassing, folks. These are the same people that'll tell you to do better when something happens, like, a suicide or something like that. Do better, folks. These are the same people that'll go and tell Dax to fucking die in a fire. Yeah. I disagree with him too on a lot of things. I think he can be a whiny little bitch, but I never would say any of those things about him, and I certainly wouldn't say any words about his children. My God, people, learn to disagree with people with tact and class. Just disagree and move on. Right, Smark?
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, you're fucking wrong. Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm an expert at doing that.
Moving on.
Yes. Having constructive arguments with people I disagree with online. I would never resort to name calling and slander. It was above me and it should be above you. Wink, wink.
Absolutely. I have no clue what you're talking about at all. But yeah, listen, whether I like the guy, whether I fucking hate the guy, it has to do with fucking the wrestling. I have never once said this guy personally was a fucking little or anything, or a little punk or a bitch. No. Personally, I think the guy's actually a really great guy. He looks like a great father to his kid, and that says a lot about a person. So I got no problems with him as a person. I think their fucking gimmick sucks, and I think they're way over fucking rated, and that's it. They are not on
this is
Terry.
awkward.
Yeah. What was that?
And I was just gonna say this is awkward because like I thought the point of this was going to be to celebrate the fact that they're like their podcast is awful and they suck and like to make fun of them and call them a bitch and whatnot. But then people were just like telling him to die in a fire and shit. It's like, oof.
Well,
Not necessarily, I don't want that to happen. I mean, I do want him to literally go fuck himself.
yeah, and
Like, but that, but he can enjoy that. That could be something it's alone time. It's self care, I think, is what they're calling it these days.
right, and the die in a fire was actually my words, not anything he said. He said die, but he didn't say die in a fire. It just kind of rolled off my tongue.
I see.
I apologize, sir. Sort of, kind of,
It
not
is
really.
sort
Maybe
of
a
like
little.
I
No.
think it's a little bit funny that like he was saying that the message, like his whole intent and purpose of doing his podcast was to bring positivity to wrestling, and then like the only times we ever read anything about what happened on his podcast or talked about what happened on his podcast were just reports of him like complaining about Colt Cabana and him complaining about MJF and him just like bitching about his coworkers not treating him with the type of reverence that he would hope for.
Yeah, by God, he made fun of my accent.
Mm-hmm.
Some bitch. Can't believe he made fun of my accent. Nah, it's but yeah, that was that was it. Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't get to just shit all over the guy. I apologize, Mark. Next time we will. Next time, I promise.
Oh, he'll say something. Apparently, I don't think we really talked about it, but apparently they signed a 4-year contract extension.
Yeah.
And the plan right now, and I don't believe this at all, because I can guarantee you they're going to fucking go back on this. So after those 4 years, they're going to retire.
Mm.
So at this point, like I'm starting to treat my bedroom walls like it's a prison cell. I'm just like checking each line with a magic marker. Just another day down, another day down, another day down.
Just hash mark it out. Hash mark it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah, I mean,
boy.
I could buy a calendar or like get a countdown clock, but it's just I prefer them the old fashioned.
I understand. I understand. It's gonna be a lot of marks on your wall, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I still wish I knew when they signed those. I guarantee it was before they came back to start doing matches. I guarantee it was, but no way I can prove that. I would bet that it was. So we go from one crazy whiny man kind of to another in Tony Khan, folks. So Tony Khan hasn't really announced this yet, but or maybe he has. It looks like actually this is more of what Meltzer and everybody and Fightful Select actually kind of put this out. According to a report from Fightful Select, the rumored AEW Saturday show that's supposed to be coming out is supposed to be called AEW Collision. Now, it's saying this show is going to air on Saturday nights, prime time, 2 hours, which that'd be pretty fucking awesome to get wrestling back on Saturday nights. But in addition to that, the rumor is that this would be like CM Punk's show. Okay? Like Punk and all his boys will go on this show, and then it's going to be the other guys on the other show. So it's going to be Wednesdays against Saturdays, and what the fuck? Why would anyone do this? First of all, this is boy. You think that roster is split now? Yeah. Let's go ahead and just fucking get the chainsaw out to divide them the rest of the way. This would be bad. This would be very bad. Another show, I think, is a bad idea. I think another show putting CM Punk on there and going, okay, who's on Punk's side? You can go. I'll make the other people I want to go go. No, 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 no. What is this? What the fuck is this? What are we starting fucking NWO black, fucking red on the other side? Wolfpack red or some bullshit? Come on.
And who would be CM Punk's Horace Hogan? That is the $1,000,000 question. Is it like Joey Mercury? I mean, he's talented, so I mean, but
I don't know. What's fucking Luke Gallows doing these days? Oh, they're back with WWE, right? Yeah.
Well, we just mentioned there's about to be some budget cuts.
See, we could be right. We could be right. It could be fucking Luke Gallows, because you know.
I swear to you, I watched somebody posted on Twitter the end of All Out 2021. Yeah, 2021, when Danielson came to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it and I had completely forgotten that Gallows and Anderson were in the ring when that happened. I
They
was
were.
like, I completely fucking forgot that they were ever there.
They were. Oh man,
Exactly.
the chat room is less than happy about the promo segment tonight. Which, folks, it was the first segment. We have one. We have no more of this story. We got one little piece to add to this story, and then we're going to get right into Dynamite, because I definitely want to get into that while you guys are still thinking about it, and we can all just talk about it together in just a minute here. So, anyway,
Mm.
last little thing we'll get into on this, and I totally, you know what? Let's just go ahead and finish up this part right here. I think this is the worst idea in the world if you actually did that. Literally split your show into punk guys over here, elite guys over here. I mean, what?
Well, the problem with that, I think you might have been on the verge of getting that before I cut you off. Sorry about that. One way or the other, you're going to make one group of people look like lesser stars.
Right.
Because if like people just all of a sudden start watching Collision for Punk and FTR and these people, then you're going to make Omega and the Elite look shitty by comparison. Or if the even worst case scenario potentially is if people just keep watching Dynamite for the Elite and Omega and they're not tuning in for Punk and his friends, then you're paying this guy a shit ton of money and getting nothing in return.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, there's. Sorry, I had to stand up and stretch my underwear. My
And
my,
on top of that,
my underwear was riding up.
we've been
Okay.
watching Dynamite, and like, does Tony Khan need to be taking on another show? Like, they seem like they're kind of creatively void of ideas at the moment anyway. With just fucking Dynamite, like, there's not a lot of compelling shit going on at the moment. Adding another show, like, are you going to add somebody to help book this shit or write this shit? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but there's so many bad things with what they're thinking of doing here. So hopefully they don't do that. I mean, like I said, I don't care. They want to do a Saturday show. I don't give a fuck. That'd be fine with me. I wouldn't mind seeing wrestling on Saturday nights, to be honest with you. Another 2 hour show. I'm not sure it's the fucking greatest thing in the world. 1 hour would be probably ideal for a Saturday night. Um, that's my opinion. I think 1 hour would be a much more ideal thing. All right, so last thing about just kind of add on to this story. Eric Bischoff, as we've talked about a few times tonight, Mr. I know everything about television, uh, said something about this kind of roster split, it's rumored again, folks. We're just sort of throwing out some shit here. He said, and I quote, "Good luck. You deserve whatever you get, Turner. You're a freaking mess. You're not the company you used to be," Bischoff said during the latest episode of Strictly Business podcast. "There's executives in that company that couldn't find their ass with both hands and a compass when it comes to making a good decision. If this is the direction that they're going in, good freaking luck." So, man, Bischoff, Bitchy Bischoff, huh?
Curmudgeony, yes.
Bitchy Bischoff.
Bischoff apparently not a fan of Big Bang Theory reruns.
Or should we go with Bischoff the bitch?
Either one.
I think bitchy Bischoff I like. Because he's acting a little bitchy. He's acting raggy, if you will. If you will.
kind of looks like what you would think Richard Gere would look like without makeup. Like he looks like an off-brand Richard Gere in this photo, at least.
Hmm. Okay. If Richard Gere had a stroke, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
like
mean,
if instead of a gerbil, it was his own head.
oh, oh, I didn't think you were going to go there.
It's-
And yet you did. Okay. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. But I mean, I think we already picked on this guy enough tonight on how fucking pretty shitty he. I mean, he here's a guy who, like I said, without dumping gobs and gobs of money into his fucking into the talent, the wrestlers, everything else, into the contracts, and basically giving all the fucking creative rights to the wrestlers. He really had nothing to do with any of it. He really didn't have much to do with it.
Yeah, I mean
So
it's kind of funny because it is a bit of a like kind of parallel, I guess. Is like as much as Eric Bischoff seems to hate Tony Khan, they're kind of similar people. Like they both just like they're in a position of power, and then they just sort of let the wrestlers sort of call their shots.
right. Yeah, you're right. They did. And I mean, look, and it didn't go very well for Bischoff either. So what? What you doing in here, Lene? Okay, go ahead. You're not going to school anymore. Thank you. Oh, you might my little Michael Jackson over here with her one glove on.
Oh my.
Yeah, you have one glove on. Oh, you can only find one pink one.
Mhm.
It's gone. Okay. Okay. I'm
She wants to be starting something.
so she okay, go. Thank you. Okay. Oh, the conversations we have with my 3-year-old. Oh boy. It's fun. Okay, folks. Let's kick off with this. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. AEW. Let's get into it. I don't think we have anything more to say on Bischoff. It is what it is at this point. AEW tonight. Not a horrible show. I actually thought there was some pretty good stuff on this show tonight. Believe it or not. I mean, I love how they say we'll hear from FTR, but all we did was get him in a quick backstage segment for like less than 2 minutes. So anyway, I guess
That perfect way to use them.
I guess so. I guess you're right. I guess you're right. But all right. Let's start off with this segment that our chat room is obviously not happy with. And dude, this was not the easiest segment to get through. It was not. It was not. It kicked off tonight Dynamite with Jungle Boy. Uh, Before he got a word out, Guevara came down, Darby Allen came down. There was a whole little argument with them, and Darby tonight was like watching fucking paint dry on Xanax. Dude, he was awful tonight. He had no emotion, showed no charisma, monotone as fuck. It was awful. Darby was fucking horrible. Jungle Boy was trying his best to pull everyone out of it. He was doing okay. Uh, and I mean, then you got, Guevara sitting over there on the ropes trying to act cool. Jungle Boy and Guevara were doing their best they could, but Darby sunk the whole fucking thing, in my opinion. And even Dirk in on Messenger was like, "My God, thank God MJF came down." Yes, thank God the fourth pillar of this company came down. Thank God MJF came down because, good God, with only three pillars, the shit was falling down. The fourth pillar
I
had
feel
to
like
hold
with,
him up.
I feel like with Darby, it's kind of like him trying to like learn how to do promos is kind of like when you're trying to like set a ceiling fan. and like you turn it up to high, and it's like it's too loud and it's kind of wobbly, and it's a little bit unsafe. Which is what he was doing the last 2 weeks because he was doing good promos the last 2 weeks, but he was like running out of breath like every other sentence because he was just trying to go too fast. He was like, "All right, the intensity is there, but you got to work on the cadence a bit." So then you turn down the setting,
Yeah.
you turn it to low, but then it's not good enough. It's still warm in the room. You got to figure out you got to get the medium.
Right. Right. But it's wobbly at medium. So yeah, Christopher Kane says Darby's been tagging with Sting for a year. He didn't learn a damn thing. Obviously not. Um, I don't know. It's very odd, like you said. And even Dirk said the past few weeks he was much better. We both praised him 2 weeks ago for that fucking promo, or 3 weeks ago. It was great. It was one of the best he had ever cut, if not the best. And then tonight it was like, we're gonna go in the ring. I'm gonna take you out, get a title, blah blah, yippee skippy. It's like, my God, you're a sing-songy little prick tonight. What the fuck? I don't know. I
Maybe
don't know.
just periodically he just remembers that he was like married to Gigi Dolan and that didn't work out. And it's just like every once in a while, every so often, that just memory hits him, and then he's just like he's down in the dumps again.
I would periodically remember that I got to tap that ass.
Well, that's when the promos are good because he's remembering what that was like.
Someone needs to just post some pictures of her ass around the fucking gorilla then over there, or whatever they call it, the go position or the fucking. I forget what they call
I have
it.
no idea why I pictured Gorilla Monsoon tapping that when you said that. But Pearl Harbor, you kid.
Okay, now we. So after this, and MJF came out and said,
Well, hold on a second because we have a return of a familiar segment. Because for a long time there, it was absent with the absence of Cody, but apparently Sammy Guevara was sucking his dick this week, according to Christopher Kane.
Well, Sammy did a little bit, and they're just not clicking because he comes out on his own and cuts these babyface promos. Then he comes out with the heels and does the heel stuff. There's nothing making fucking sense here. Now he's obviously totally heel, but so basically what we get is that MJF is declaring that there's going to be a Pillars tournament, and the first match was tonight. Obviously, it was. We'll get to it in a few minutes here. It was Sammy versus Jungle Boy, and we will get to it in just a few minutes here. So after this whole thing, after that atrocious fucking promo segment that everyone had to fucking just muddle through, we get a pretty decent match here. We had Ruby Soho and Tony Storm versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. I really actually enjoyed this match. I didn't see anything that wrong with it. And, Hayter and Baker got the win and whatever. What did you think?
In regard to that, I saw What the Hell Happened to Tony Storm. I'm not entirely sure what that's in reference to. She seemed fine. And Jamie Hayter is bangable. I agree with that.
I cannot disagree at all. I cannot disagree. He is definitely true. Oh, definitely right on that one. She definitely is. Definitely is.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a good match. I mean, that's the problem. It's not the problem. Isn't with the in-ring talent. It's just with the storyline, the angle, the gimmick, the whole Outcast stable faction. However you want to look at it, like it just seemed very uninspired from the beginning, and it hasn't done much to pick up from that. I mean, I guess now something did happen late that sort of makes more sense with how they're used and the fact that they're kind of a mirror of the stable that they're now working with because they kind of joined up with the Inner Circle there, or not Inner Circle, Jericho Appreciation Society.
Wow.
On Dynamite.
You just went back to the future, brother.
I sure did.
You sure did. But yeah, obviously they're all together now. And I mean, it was, like I said, the match was what it was. And like you said, we definitely saw more of the Outcasts in the main event tonight, which obviously we'll talk about in a few minutes here. Then we had Wardlow backstage with Renee, and this is where the show got good, folks. This is where it got good. He's backstage and he's talking about how, he had one horseman helping him and he decided to go to another one. And I'm like, oh shit, it's Flair. No, I really didn't think that. I swear to God, I'm just kidding. And who do we get? Arn fucking Anderson, folks. Folks, it is not even Glocktober. It is not even Glocktober. And look what we're getting here. Look.
Yeah, you can't spell April without AR. Here's Arn Anderson.
Very good, sir. You. What? Okay. What? What?
Yeah, think about it for a while. You can't spell April without AR.
But there's a.
Well, there's a P and there's an I and an L too, but there's an R in there.
There you go. You can't
April.
you can't spell April without pill. I like that better.
Mm.
Okay.
There you go. That's. I think that's more of a Brian Pillman Jr. thing, but I get what you're saying. Arn Anderson's back. That's the important thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I like this. I like this. I like it. I like it. So we find out that we don't. There was no saying, "All right, you're my permanent manager," but Wardlow was in his corner for going to be in the corner for Wardlow's match with Powerhouse Hobbs tonight. So, and he was. So after that, we get the Elite coming out, Smark, and Omega's got the mic in his hand. And the Elite come out there talking shit. And then Bryan Danielson gets on the big screen. And right as he's talking, Blackpool Combat Club runs up behind the Elite. And we get a brawl for a few minutes. Then they got Omega in the ring by himself.
Yes.
Omega's in the ring by himself. And we see Don Callis run down because obviously they've got him kind of laid out. Brian pulling out the screwdriver because Brian wants to screw things. Or fix things. I'm sorry. Fix things. And he pulls out the screwdriver as Don Callis goes back up the ramp. And then we see Don Callis come back out, and he's got Takeshita with him. Now, I guess this is one of those, if you've been watching Rampage, Don Callis has been sort of courting Takeshita. Right, Smart?
Of course. Yes. Watch Rampage all the time.
Absolutely.
I did not at all think that was a Bushi at first.
Good.
And I did not at all feel racist thinking that was a Bushi at first.
I was about to say
that happened, so.
If you'd let me go, I would have got you out of this, but okay. Fuck you.
I voluntarily got myself into this.
I was going to say it's good.
Don Callis came back with Funaki and Cleat House.
All right. So here comes Don Callis with Tozawa. And wait a minute. Okay. Takeshita. Sorry. Jeez, at least I threw a T in there. Here he comes running down. Takeshita's running down. And he kind of goes, here, go get him. And he does. Takeshita's coming down. He's fucking up everybody. He's getting, and he comes down and gave Omega enough time to get his shit back. And they take out the Blackpool Combat Club, and the Young Bucks get in the ring, and they're a little fucking confused. But Don Callis gets in the ring, and he was excited as hell and held up everybody's arm. And I don't know. This is going to be a nice little twist to the story.
Yeah. So
it's going to be a nice little twist.
I think more than anything, it was more of just that they were like trying to sell that they were injured more so than they were confused, I think. But potentially, I could see that maybe being a little bit of a divide or something.
Yeah. Well, no, they were kind of looking at Callis like, what the fuck is that about, dude? What the fuck's going on? So, I don't know. But I thought it was pretty good stuff. So now we get this.
I did like Callis like running down with a chair and then just sort of looking around, still realizing that even with the chair, he had no shot, and then just putting the chair down and running back. Like, that was pretty awesome.
Screw the chair. I've got Takeshita.
It's like, I'm still fucked. All right. Well, plan C.
Plan C. All right, so we get Wardlow, folks. Wardlow, now he's down for his match versus Powerhouse Hobbs for the TNT Championship. Now, of course, we got a few distractions from the QT Nightmare crew. Um, but QT at one point climbs in the ring. So does Arn. Arn pulls the Glock. I thought I got scared for a second. I'm like, shit, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. Oh, it's just his fingers. It's okay. It's okay. So QT's walking backwards up the ramp, a little scared of the finger guns. And he turn around and there's Penta. Right there. Takes him out. Wardlow finally gets the win. He's a 3-time TNT champion. Has this title even been around for 2 full years yet?
Yes, yeah, because it
Okay.
came out during pandemic, so
Okay.
it's been. Because I think, and I could be wrong, but I think Brody Lee was the first one.
Yeah.
If not, I think it was either Brody Lee or Cody. I know Brody Lee had it for a minute, but yeah, it's been out there. But
Okay.
it just seems like we've just gone back and forth. We've just gone in a complete fucking circle of like Joe Joe Wardlow, Hobbs Wardlow.
Mm.
Like they just like there's no. It's not a division. It's just hot potato amongst like 2 or 3 guys.
It kind of is. That's kind of what it's doing. And then you got, you're right. That's kind of all it's been doing is jumping between a few people. So whatever, we'll see who has it next week. We'll see what the fuck happens. But after the match, Christian Cage and Luchasaurus walk down, or Evil Saurus, whatever the fuck you want to call them. No words are said, but somehow they all knew a challenge was being thrown out, Smart. They all knew. Not a word said,
That's right.
yet a challenge has still been thrown out. So there you go. I guess that's what we're going to get. Yeah, I guess next week. I don't know. It's a great turtleneck. Great turtleneck he has on. Great turtleneck. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So now we get Sammy backstage. He's with Renee Paquette. Sammy is just about to speak with MJF, or speak when MJF interrupts, and tells Sammy he's got a deal. But he has to win tonight. That's basically the deal. First, Sammy says, no, I don't want to make a deal with you about this, about that. Then MJF says, listen, I'll give you, blah, 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 and a blank check. And he's like, don't go crazy. I know you wouldn't do that. Why am I saying crazy? It's not crazy. Who would go crazy? Not going to go crazy. And he looks at it and he's like, this is it. This is what it's going to take. But he says yes anyway. And I liked the little line here where MJF stuck out his hand and he says, friends don't shake hands, friends hug.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a little, I believe that was kind of a nod to Tommy Boy.
Indeed.
Brothers don't shake hands, brothers gotta hug. Which is part of the intro to Hollywood Hangout. But anyway, you want to talk about a fucking match right here. Here we go. We got Commander versus Jay White. Now, for some reason, Sean Spears was down there at the ring. I completely forgot this guy was employed. Didn't care whether or not he was employed, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Right. So
what it reminds me of is like, you remember when Bret Hart left for WCW, how basically for like a good like 2 or 3 months there, they just kind of treated like Owen and Neidhart like shit until Neidhart left, and then they actually did something with Owen after a while. Well, let's not talk about that, but fucking Cody's gone. Why do we still have to deal with QT Marshall and Sean Spears? Like, why?
Somebody feels bad for the guy. I don't know. Maybe he cleans Arn's guns.
Ooh, there you go.
I don't know. Maybe he cleans Tony's pipes.
He's polishing something.
Maybe he's polishing turds. I don't know. I have no clue. But anyway, we get this wonderful Commander versus Jay White match, and this was a pretty fucking good match, man. That Commander can just like, the guy's like a fucking tightrope walker, dude. It's amazing what the guy can really do. Um, Commander pretty much takes a good beating before picture in picture. After picture in picture, he kind of starts getting a little bit of momentum going, makes a little comeback, and Jay White currently or ends up ultimately getting the win in this match. And then him and Juice are calling themselves Bullet Club Gold, and they start beating down Sean Spears because what else do you do to Sean Spears? But who comes down? But Ricky Starks decides to come down and make the save.
Which I'm glad Ricky Starks came out because I was having a hard time figuring out who was heel and who was face at this.
Still having
Because they
a
were
hard
beating
time.
up Sean Spears, and I was like, I was cheering and applauding. I had my foam finger out.
Oh wow, wow! You broke that thing
Foam
out.
finger. Mm-hmm.
Wow, awesome. Watch where you stick that thing.
Hey, you know.
So there you go. But that's what we got right there. Was Ricky Starks coming down to make the stave, the save. Excuse me, folks.
That's right. He staved him.
He staved him. Way to stave me, buddy. Hey. Anywho, after that, now we got this little, like, remember we were supposed to hear from FTR tonight. Well, this was where we heard from it. A backstage segment with Mark Briscoe and the Lethal crew and everybody. This was a bit of an odd segment to throw in here.
Yes.
I thought it was. I really had no fucking clue what was going on. I think a match might have got made for next week. I'm not quite sure. I don't know, Spike.
Rampage.
It did? Something happened?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Rampage.
Rampage.
It's Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett and FTR versus like I forget what they're fucking called, but it's a heel stable with like the fake Brock Lesnar.
Oh, the mogul affiliates.
Yeah, I don't know if they're involved in that or not. Well, I can find it. Give me
Wait,
a
isn't
second
that
here.
the
They
isn't
already announced
that's the
it.
one with Swerve, right?
Well, the one with Swerve, I don't think he's part of. I think it's like him and fucking Slim J and some other guy who
Yeah,
I
but
can't remember at the moment.
yeah, but they got like them in the embassy got together, so that's right. Okay, you're just you're okay. I know what you're doing. I got you.
Find it. I mean, and not that it really matters, because like who the fuck's watching Rampage? But
Nobody.
let's
Nobody.
see. It's the 21st for Good Friday. Oh well, fucking Saturday. Okay, three. They said that enough times.
Yeah, yeah, for Saturday. Well, let me start rolling here, I guess, while you're looking that up, or you already got it.
I don't.
Okay, I'll start rolling here a little bit with this Jericho and Adam Cole face off. These guys have been kind of giving each other little sideways looks for the past couple weeks, so they decided to have a face off. Cole starts out saying, "Hey, Jericho, I got respect for you." Jericho started out by saying, "Well, good, that's great. I'm glad you got respect for me because I don't have any for you, you little prick." Um, Cole basically says that he was afraid Jericho would go down this road, and he says that the people of Pittsburgh and him think that Jericho has been a real jagoff lately, which actually got us jagoff chants. Smart.
A little bit.
A little bit of jagoff chants we got. Not too loud, but loud enough to hear.
That's
Uh,
always funny when you could like you could see them trying to like set something up because Adam Cole said that and then Jericho in response immediately said, "Well, first off, I am not a jack."
which
It's
got
like you
more
could just
chants.
see him like throwing the fishing lure out there.
Right.
I was like, does it work? Does it work? And it kind of worked. It worked a little bit.
It worked. It worked. It worked. I liked it. Uh, then, as Jericho was doing that, like you just said, after that, uh, they start pushing. Cole gets the best of Jericho, which brings Daniel Garcia. into the ring from behind. They both start stomping the shit out of Cole. And here comes Britt Baker down to the ring. She pulls Jericho off. She's right in his face. She slaps him. Now, while she's doing this, she doesn't see that the outcasts are sneaking into the ring behind her. So they start stomping down Britt Baker. Jericho and Garcia start beating up Cole at this point, and then they handcuff Cole to the ropes. Now, you knew what was going to happen when they took off Britt Baker's shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were other things I was hoping was going to happen, but that's from hanging out in strip clubs for too long. Let's not discuss this.
Yeah, no Def Leppard was playing.
There was a guy in a Def Leppard t-shirt they showed a couple times tonight, though.
By the by, to go back to something that nobody cares about, they're facing the varsity athletes in Slim J. It's Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and FTR versus the varsity athletes in Slim J.
There you go. That's
So if you want to watch Tony Nese on Saturday night, you totally can. God bless you.
Absolutely. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. That's fine.
That's fine. We support your lifestyle decision.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, you do what you want to do. You.
I mean,
you watch.
Kiera Hogan's wrestling Saturday night. That's something.
Really?
Yes.
There you go. That is something.
I mean, I would much rather watch Kiera Hogan than looking Tony Nese.
I mean, I definitely, especially from the back. So after all that, Jericho brings in the kendo stick, which, like I said, as soon as they took off Britt Baker's shirt, we knew it was going to happen here. Jericho looks down at Cole. He looks up at Saraya and hands Saraya the stick. Cole was begging him, hit me, hit me, hit me. I don't care. He knew he was just trying to get him to keep away from Britt Baker. Well, Saraya grabs it. Saraya hits Britt Baker once, twice, three times a lady, causing the crowd actually to chant piece of shit. I think they were chanting it at Paige. And then JAS and the little outcasts all just walk up the ramp together. So I don't know if we're joining together another faction or if it was just kind of a one night only with a common goal in mind. I don't know.
I mean, they're kind of the same gimmick, so like it makes sense to just all put them under one umbrella. But I think they're just temporarily working together. I don't think it's like an actual like forming another larger faction.
All right. I guess not then. Well, we get more of JAS Mark because now we have the Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Jake Hager versus the Acclaim match. Now, remember, if the Acclaimed lose this match, they have to join the JAS.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew what was happening from the beginning right here. The Acclaimed came in, got a quick advantage before the match even started, which I got to tell you, that did worry me a bit. Usually when a team comes in and gets the advantage right in the beginning, that's not good, but this isn't WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But I got to tell you, man, it doesn't matter what city they're in. It just doesn't matter. The fucking crowd loves this act, the Acclaimed. They love it.
Indeed.
They really do, man. It's so fucking great to hear that someone is that fucking over in any company. It's great. It really is. They love it. They eat up everything Billy Gunn does. It's just great to watch for me. And it was kind of a short match. The Acclaim did come out victorious. We got a nice little scissor spot. Then we had the main event, Mark. Wow, we ripped through this fucking show tonight. What the hell happened?
We did.
Dude, I'm fucking loving this. By the way, it is 4:19. It is 4 minutes until 4:20, folks.
Indeed.
It's 4:20 all day, motherfuckers. Anyway.
That doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I miss.
I mean, I've got my bong. I could. No, I won't.
I did watch Cocaine Bear earlier. That's not weed, but that's something.
That is something. That is something. I keep meaning to watch it, but then I don't want to. But
I mean, I will say this: it's what you think it would be.
I
I'm not
figured.
saying if it's bad or good. I'm just saying what your expectations for a movie called Cocaine Bear would be. It's that.
I mean, I remember I made fun of this movie before it was even like out yet. Me and Anthony made fun of this tonight. We talked when Ray Liotta passed when we were talking about this movie
Yeah.
because this is one of his last movies, if not his last. Might have one more after this that it might have been in, but um, I forgot to show you all the picture there. I had Cole handcuffed and Britt Baker on the ground. Is it
I thought that was a pretty good segment. I thought like Adam Cole did a good job of bringing
boy
like he emoted pretty well.
that
It,
fucking
it's mm,
that halter top on Paige is screaming in pain.
indeed it is.
Indeed. She got some hangers on her, man. She got the good fake ones. Good Lord,
Plus, I don't
Paige.
know if you caught up. Well, I feel weird derailing TikTok to actually talk about wrestling. I feel ashamed of myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen them yet, but it looks like whoever did it did some good work.
Yeah. I think AEW needs to get into the Playboy Mansion a little bit.
And, well, unfortunately, you can't get Bischoff to do the Girls Gone Wild thing with them anymore. He seems to hate Tony Khan.
Hey, the guy fucking had him out for his show once, and he was all like, "Oh, what a great company, great feel, great vibe," and then he's like, "Fuck that guy, didn't have me
That's why I
back."
have a hard time respecting like Cornette and Bischoff. Because if Tony Khan was willing to pay them a decent amount of money, they would immediately pretend like it was the best company ever. Which I mean, hey, get the money, but it's like it's hard for me to respect your opinion if you're just out there trying to get cash.
Yeah, I know it
I
is.
see Christopher Kane says Cocaine Bear is an awesome movie.
I'll have to check it out. I have it. I got it. I mean, I had to. It was being talked about, so.
And it was pretty fun, I will say. I enjoyed it. It has fucking the guy from The Wires in there too.
All right.
Isaiah Whitlock. He played
Okay.
Clay Davis.
All right. All right. Well, let's get into this last fucking match. My God, I can't believe how fast we got through this. Sammy Guevara came out for his match. He came out with Ty Mello, and they made out as for their entrance, pretty much. So we get Darby is watching this match from up in the rafters. We get MJF watching backstage, and the match was moving along just fine. Jungle Boy got knocked out of the fucking ring. Sammy's waiting. Um, we actually talked about this part, didn't we already?
Not
We
really. I mean, we sort of alluded to some of it. We
uh,
alluded to Sammy being heel, but we didn't
oh,
necessarily
you're
say
right.
what happened in the match.
You're right. You're right. So Jungle Boy gets knocked out. Sammy's waiting in the ring as the ref is slowly, ever so slowly counting to 10. So Sammy distracts the ref. MJF then runs down, right hand with the dynamite diamond ring on, lays out Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy's counted out. Sammy wins, and MJF and him celebrate like they have been schoolmates for years,
Mm-hmm.
which should worry everybody. The fact that MJF was every time they showed him was going, "That's my friend. That's my friend." That should worry everybody too. MJF doesn't have friends.
No.
He has associates. That's about it. That's about it. So
Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Ones we can depend on.
friends. And my neck
I can't think
pops.
of. Ooh, bad times.
Oh, my poor body. Oh man. Oh look. I didn't even catch that guy in this picture. The guy with the really big, better than you shirt on, right over Sammy's right shoulder. Ah, shit. There's an MJF sucks sign. Signs really are not very creative anymore, are they?
I mean, you can't call people gay anymore. That was like 80% of the signs in 2000.
I know. I'm.
Like there was a great there was one that made me laugh where it was just like because it was just so random. It was a sign that was just like Dusty, you suck, and your son is gay. It's just like why? Like that's not even like funny. It's just mean.
There was
Like
a
why
lot
would you
of
write that?
there was a lot of mean signs back in those days, man. But they were great. It's what made fucking wrestling wrestling. It wasn't
I mean, so
just.
far the best sign that I've seen this year is just the LMAO Cody.
There you go. I mean, but signs were so much better back then. Man. You're right. You could be a little more vile, and I mean, we had titties popping out on in fucking shows. It was great. It was a great time. It was a great time in wrestling. I miss it. I do.
Well, now there's just like the video game signs. Those are like whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
The best one in recent memory was just for like the sheer randomness was like somebody brought a sign to I think it was like Raw or one of the pay-per-views and said Roman Reigns is a white pheasant. It was like, well, you like really went out of your way for that one. Like it's creative. Not necessarily sure I know what the fuck that means, but like it sticks in the old memory banks.
It's original at least. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, shit, man. I didn't expect us to get through that.
Brief story, real quick. I'll hit you with before we get out of here.
Go
There
ahead,
was
go ahead.
we went to a house show with my dad, my stepfather, my dad. For anyways, um, it was I forget who. Well, yeah, it was the whole thing, but I forget who he was wrestling. But Ted DiBiase Jr. was wrestling
Mm-hmm.
somebody, and this was when Maurice was his manager, and Maurice grabbed somebody's sign and ripped it up. And I don't know what compelled me to say this, but I just said out loud, "Yeah, I knew if I had I known if she was going to rip up signs, I would have made one with a hole for my wiener." And it was just like a long silence. And I was like, "All right, well." It's like,
Take it easy there, fucking Joel Gertner. All right.
I was gonna try to do the Porky's thing, and just a fucking giant.
Holy
That would actually
shit.
be pretty great if somebody made that sign. Like they would immediately get arrested, but if somebody just made that sign, where it's just like it's just a sign with the dick hole.
Rip up this sign. It's just a dick hole with a. Well, see, the way not to get arrested so quickly is put a Pringles can over it and grab a chip. Okay. And when she grabs the Pringles chip, yeah, just it's there. There. Unless you want to get a big sausage pizza.
Well, I mean, not all of us are blessed enough to be able to use a Pringles can. We're gonna have to somehow,
They make the little
and
ones.
that's gonna. It's like, nope, keep reaching, keep reaching.
They make the little ones. You can just get the little ones. It's okay. It's cold in there.
Yeah,
You can get the little ones. I understand shrinkage. It's cold. You can get cold in those
yeah.
arenas. You can get a little chilly with the concrete floor. I understand. I understand,
Snack
Smart.
size.
I get it. Sometimes you're not all chubbed up. I understand. I get it.
That is so much worse. Just like putting a fucking flaccid penis through a fucking hole in the sign.
She grabs it and misses. It's like, whoa, wait, what? Well, no, wait, come back.
She's just staring me in the face like, I know it's supposed to be a dick here, but I'm not feeling it. Like, I know.
She pulls out an actual Pringle, and there wasn't even any in there. How the fuck did she do that? All right, where?
Okay. Did not clean this Pringles can out well enough.
How the
That's a
hell?
UTI for sure. Got fucking robo flavor in there now.
Sir, your urine came back with very high volumes of sodium for some reason and starch. Why? Oh, oh. Humana. Okay.
Fucking dick's got diabetes and shit.
So, Doc, it all started with this sign, right? Okay.
Now you're familiar with Ted DiBiase Jr., right? So he's the son. He was in the Marine something five probably, and
Four. I think four.
Marine four. Yes.
I think it might have been four. So, well, shit, man, we breezed through this shit tonight. I thought we were gonna actually go a little longer because we actually had a decent chunk of news, but most of the news we had was only three or four fucking paragraphs or sentence long, so it wasn't that much to really get through. But I'm kind of glad we wrapped it up early tonight. I got no problem sitting around watching TV for a few minutes,
That's
then
right.
then hitting the sack. 'Cause I'm fucking tired.
I feel like the last wrestling related point will go to Christopher Kane, who just broke Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole. I don't really care.
I'm sorry, Christopher Kane is just not a big AEW fan lately. They are not hitting his nerves anywhere with anything.
I mean, I thought it was a kind of a good segment, but that just made me laugh. It's like, I don't fucking care.
It was okay, but you always know when Jericho's in there, there's a method to the madness. Something's gonna happen. Someone's coming in. It's never gonna be just Jericho. So I don't know, man. But you're right. I don't really. I don't. I gotta admit, I don't really care either. I know it'll be a good match because Jericho and Cole. It's gonna be a good match, but I don't care that it's gonna be a good match. Does that make sense? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm personally not saying this. I just thought it was a funny thing to end on. It's just I don't really care.
I,
It's like, all right, fair enough.
I'm with them. I'm right there with
Like
you, Mister.
it's not bad. It's not good. There's just other things going on in my life that I divert my attention to. It's just like pure apathy. It's like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's not piquing any or pecking his interest or peaking. You can peck someone's interest,
Well,
I guess.
because Britt Baker was in the segment and just kind of a Triple H thing going on with it.
Those darn interest peckers are pesters. They're pests. Those interest peckers.
Mm.
Okay, before this show takes a turn, I think we should go ahead and wrap this bad boy up, Smart. Folks, thank you. Thank you, chat room. I appreciate you guys coming on in here tonight. I always do. I know Smart does too. I'm not speaking for him, but he's a very appreciative person, and I know it. So there you go. And of course, Smart, I appreciate you coming on out here. And while I do appreciate that, I'd like you to tell them where they can find you on Monday nights.
That's right. Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It is totally inappropriate sports. That's live on the YouTube if you want to check us out there. If not, archives go up same day wherever you listen to podcasts. Go ahead and check us out. Thursday, not tomorrow, but then the Thursday after that, we're going to be watching the NFL Draft live. So if you want to check that out, come join us.
All right. That's going to be pretty fucking cool, man. Very nice. Go check that out over there, folks. And that's about it. We will once again be back here next week talking all your favorite wrestling stuff. Don't forget, if you like the show, like it. If you don't. You want to leave a comment? Please do. We'd really appreciate it. And on that note, see ya.
Happy birthday, Tim Curry.
Yes. Good one, Smart. Happy birthday indeed, Mr. Curry. And a good night to you.